You would die before you reached the market, and no one would ask your name. The blade finds your ribs before you see the face. The stone floor receives your weight. Above, a window closes. No one saw anything. You walk through London in the year 1430. The sun has not yet fully set, but the city already belongs to others. They do not wear crowns. They carry daggers. And they know every corner better than you know your own name. The gangs do not hide. They move in groups of 6, 8, 10. They wear quality wool. Metal buckles gleam on their belts. Some laugh loudly. Others just watch. And that is worse. You look away. Mistake. Looking away means fear. Fear means prey. You would expect to find hunger in their eyes, despair, the violence of those who have nothing. But when the young man comes closer and you see the fine embroidery on his cloak, the truth hits you. He doesn't need to steal. He chooses to. They are sons of goldsmiths, of cloth merchants, of men who own warehouses near the docks. They grew up with tutors, servants, food on the table, and they decided that boredom is intolerable. The market becomes an arena. Invented insults become pretexts. Knives leave their sheaths faster than words of apology. And when blood runs between the bread stalls, guards pretend not to hear the screams. Prisons exist, laws exist, but when your father owns 3 merchant ships and knows the judge by his first name, consequences simply vanish. Money buys freedom, connections buy silence, and the violence continues because it can. The city is only the beginning. You need to travel, carry goods, visit relatives in distant villages, so you pass through the gates and enter true hunting grounds. The roads do not belong to the king. They belong to whoever controls them, and they control everything. Blind curves near forests, narrow bridges over muddy rivers, crossroads where 3 paths meet and none offers escape. They do not improvise. They study routes the way merchants study ledgers. They know when caravans pass, how many guards escort them, which merchants carry gold beneath the grain. Some dress as monks, counting on your trust in religious figures. Others wear fake royal guard uniforms. Nothing ruins your day like discovering that the priest offering blessings is, in fact, planning to steal everything you own. The war ends. Trumpets announce peace. Treaties are signed in flowery Latin. And thousands of men trained to kill discover that no one needs their skills anymore. They know battle formations. They know how to surround fortresses, operate catapults, coordinate cavalry charges. They do not know how to plant wheat, so they don't. They form companies, elect captains, march along the borders not as an army, but as a business. These mercenaries bring a professional quality that amateur thieves simply cannot match. They have military weapons, armor, cavalry, even siege equipment. They can seize entire properties. Noble houses become preferred targets. They offer valuable treasures and defensible positions for prolonged occupation. The business model is brilliant in its twisted logic. Cities hire these mercenary gangs to attack their enemies, paying substantial fees. When the job is done, many companies immediately rob their own employers. They get paid twice for the same trip. Oxford was supposed to produce philosophers. It produces predators, young men who discuss Aristotle in the morning and break jaws at night. They enter taverns like lords. They drink without paying, eat without thanks. When the owner protests, they cite university privileges in perfect Latin before smashing his counter. One particularly bold group kidnaps a tavern owner who dared to criticize their wine selection, holding him until he apologizes and promises better drinks. Most merchants learn to accept whatever students choose to pay, which is usually nothing. The city cannot touch them. Academic laws protect them like stone walls. Criminal students enjoy diplomatic immunity for domestic terrorism. a brilliant loophole, or a catastrophic flaw in medieval law. You think running away will solve things, that beyond the walls, beyond the known cities, there is freedom. But borders are not lines on a map. They're gray zones where no law reaches, between rival kingdoms, in disputed valleys, in forests claimed by no lord. That is where the worst thrive. Nomadic gangs that answer to neither king nor bishop. They carry everything they own and take everything they find. They speak 3 languages, no 5 escape routes. They strike on one frontier and vanish across another. When pursued by English soldiers, they cross into French territory. When the French draw near, they return. Jurisdiction is the best shield. You think the law is on your side, that judges punish criminals, that officials serve order. Then you enter the courtroom and see the truth. Justice is not blind. It is for sale. Names appear in records. Crimes documented in black ink. Assault, mutilation, murder. And beside them, always the same judgment. Case dismissed. Lack of evidence. The family paid well. Gangs establish territories inside the cities. They collect protection money from vendors. And when festivals happen, those same criminals receive official uniforms paid by the city council to maintain order. They are paid by the city to commit crimes against its citizens. Bribery evolves into standard legal procedure. Gang members arrive at hearings carrying sacks of coins, knowing that financial arguments are more persuasive than legal evidence. You assume gangs are male. The records speak of men. The legends celebrate warriors. But you're looking at it wrong. Women do not carry swords through the streets. They don't need to. They run taverns where information flows like beer. They manage safe houses where criminals hide. They transport messages hidden in bread, in cloth, in prayer. Some command entire operations using husbands, brothers, sons as the public face. They choose targets, plan routes, negotiate with corrupt authorities using charm and veiled threats. Widows of mercenaries inherit contacts, debts, loyalties, and they discover that power bought with male blood sits perfectly well in female hands, especially because no one suspects them. A woman enters a court with a basket of embroidery. She leaves with information on guard movements. Who questions her? Who investigates? Invisibility is the strongest armor. When the law fails completely, ordinary people decide to handle crime prevention on their own. When official guards do not come, you become the guard. Farmers drop their hoes and pick up pitchforks. Blacksmiths forge spears instead of horseshoes. You dig ditches across roads to stop robber nights. You lock gang members in improvised barn prisons. Vigilante groups create their own legal systems since official courts are corrupt or ineffective. Local justice becomes a community activity where everyone takes part in deciding whether criminals deserve punishment or only harsh sermons. Public flogging sends messages. Shaving heads marks criminals for easy identification. Banishment removes problems permanently without the costs of imprisonment. But revenge is a slow poison. You start by protecting. You end up judging on suspicion, punishing based on rumor. The line between defense and tyranny is thin, and you have already crossed it. Once people grow accustomed to violence, it becomes hard to distinguish justice from vengeance. Community defense works until the defenders decide they enjoy the role too much to stop when the original threat is gone. The ocean offers no refuge. It is just another road, wider, colder, with fewer places to hide. Small, fast ships appear on the horizon. Triangular sails cut through the mist. When they draw near, you see men with harpoons, boarding hooks, torches ready to set your cargo on fire. What makes pirate gangs particularly dangerous is their semi-legitimate status during times of war. Kings and nobles secretly support pirate groups, using them as unofficial naval forces. Government-sponsored piracy is an early form of outsourcing military operations to private contractors who also enjoy theft and violence. Entire coastal communities face ransom demands from pirate gangs that threaten to burn ships and destroy homes. Villages are forced to choose between bankruptcy and complete destruction. One group gains notoriety for kidnapping a bishop and demanding barrels of wine as ransom instead of gold. Apparently, even professional criminals understand that quality alcohol can be worth more than money when it comes to celebrating successful crimes. Coastal villages learn the lesson. They do not fight, they negotiate. Every autumn, barrels of wine are left on the dock, sacks of grain, coins in open chests. It is not generosity, it is survival. Because trying to resist means watching your house burn, your boat sink, your children taken as hostages. So you pay, and pray that the next pirate ship honors the deal. Medieval piracy becomes so deeply integrated into the war economy that many authorities stop trying to eliminate it and instead focus on directing pirate attacks against enemy nations. Crime becomes economy. Gangs are not an exception, they are the system. Authorities learn to channel violence, not stop it. Better that they kill our enemies than us. You survived. Many did not. The gangs remain. Some fall, others grow. Names change, methods evolve, but the structure endures because it was not the Middle Ages that invented organized crime. It was not swords that created extortion. It was not the absence of police that produced corruption. It was people with power, with intelligence, with choices, deciding that organized violence offers more than built peace. The old stones still hold stains. The roads still have blind curves. The seas still hide predators. And somewhere, right now, someone is making the same choice people made 700 years ago. And as long as that choice exists, blood will keep running between the stones, no matter the century. History does not teach, it merely bears witness. If you have borne witness with me, leave your mark in the comments. Subscribe for more buried truths, because the past is not dead, it is only waiting for you to look back.